Chapter 25. Damu Anna Kasar of Ahmednagar, Speculations, Amri Leela. We begin this chapter with the prostration of all our 8 limbs to Sai Baba, who is an ocean of mercy, the God incarnate, the Param Brahma and the great Yogeshwar. Victory be unto Sai Baba, who is the crest jewel of the saints and abode of all auspicious things, our Atmaram and the sole refuge of all the devotees. We prostrate ourselves before him who has attained the aim and end of life. Sai Baba is always full of mercy. What is wanted on our part is wholehearted devotion to him. When a devotee has got firm faith and devotion, his wishes are soon fulfilled. When the desire arose in the mind of Hemad Pant to write the life and Leelas of Sai Baba, he immediately got it written by him. When the order to keep the memos was given, Hemad Pant was inspired, and his intellect got strength and boldness to undertake and finish the work. He was not, as he says, qualified to write the work, but the gracious blessings of Baba enabled him to complete the undertaking, and thus you have the Satcharit, which is a cistern or a Somkant jewel from which nectar in the form of Sai Leela oozes out for the readers to drink to their heart's content. Whenever a devotee had complete and wholehearted devotion to Sai Baba, all his calamities and dangers were warded off, and his welfare attended to by Baba. The story of Damodar Savlaram Rasane, Kasar of Ahmednagar, now of Pune, alias Damu Anna, illustrating the above statement, is given below. Damu Anna. The readers are aware that a mention of this gentleman was made in the 6th chapter regarding the celebration of Ram Navami festival in Shirdi. He went to Shirdi about the year 1895 AD, when the Ram Navami Utsav celebration began, and since that time, he has been providing an ornamental flag for that occasion every year. He also feeds the poor and the fakirs who come there for the festival. His speculations, cotton trading. A Mumbai friend of Damu Anna wrote to him that they should do some cotton speculation business in partnership, which would bring them about 2 lakh of rupees as profit. Damu Anna says in his statement made about the year 1936 to Mr. B.V. Narasimha Swami that the proposal about speculating at Mumbai in cotton was from a broker who was not to be a partner, and that he, that is Damu Anna, was to be the sole adventurer. The broker wrote that the business was good and involved no risk, and that the opportunity should not be lost. Damu Anna was vacillating. He could not at once determine a venture into the speculation. He thought over this, and as he was a devotee of Baba, he wrote a detailed letter to Shama giving all the facts and requested him to consult Baba and take his advice in the matter. Shama got the letter next day, and when he went with it at noon to the masjid and placed it before Baba, he asked Shama what the matter was and what the letter was about. He replied that Damu Anna of Nagar wanted to consult him about something. Then Baba said,
"What does he write and what does he plan? It seems that he wants to reach the sky and he is not content with what God has given him. Read his letter."
Shama then said, "The letter contains what you have just said. O Deva, you sit here calm and composed and agitate the devotees, and when they get restless, you draw them here, some in person and others through letters. If you know the contents of the letter, why do you then press me to read it?" Baba said,
Oh Shama, read it. I speak at random. And who believes me?
Then Shama read the letter and Baba heard it attentively and said feelingly,
Damu Anna has gone mad. Write to him in reply that nothing is wanting in his house. Let him be content with the half loaf he has and not bother himself about lakhs.
Shama sent the reply which Damu Anna was anxiously waiting for. After reading it, he found that all his hopes and prospects about lakhs of rupees as profit were dashed to the ground. He thought that he had made a mistake by consulting Baba. But as Shama had hinted in the reply that there was always much difference in seeing and hearing, and that therefore he should come to Shirdi personally and see Baba. He thought it was advisable to go to Shirdi and consult Baba personally about the affair. So he went to Shirdi, saw Baba, prostrated himself before him and sat shampooing his legs. He had no courage to ask Baba openly about the speculation. But he thought in his mind that it would be better if some share in the business were assigned to Baba, and said in his mind that if Baba were to help him in this transaction, he would surrender some share of profits to him. Damu Anna was thus thinking secretly in his mind, but nothing was veiled from Baba. Everything, past, present and future, were clear to him. A child wants sweets, but his mother gives bitter pills. The former spoils his health, while the latter improves it. So the mother, looking to the welfare of her infant, coaxes and gives bitter pills. Baba, kind mother as he was, knew the present and future prospects of his devotees, and therefore, reading Damu Anna's mind, he openly spoke to him.
Bapu, I do not want to be entangled in any such worldly things.
On seeing Baba's disapproval, Damu Anna dropped the enterprise. Grain dealing. Then he thought of trading in rice, wheat and other grains. Baba read this thought also and said to him,
You will be buying at 5 seers and selling at 7 seers a rupee.